Hello, everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Now, I probably should have waited to upload this for Sunday, keep to my usual schedule and everything, but it just feels like that, especially when it comes to fixing classes and stuff, it feels like I should try to roll things out just a little bit faster, especially while while having a newborn does add certain layers of uh, stress, takes up time, and definitely need to refocus and shift my priorities. I do have some time off of work going right now, and while I have these quiet moments and am pulling baby duty, I figure let's go ahead and just try to hustle a few extra things out while I can, hence recording ahead of time and all that. So, and let's just get this fix rolling here because I want to fix the Archaic Weapon Master and I want to move on to one of the most broken and useless of advanced classes out of everything. This one, the next one is going to be fairly bottom tier out of everything. But we'll worry about that for Sunday. For now, let's just dive right into what I've done for the Archaic Weapon Master. Let's figure out how to make this better. And thankfully, this class has already given us a number of tools for doing that. So, starting us off, the requirements I've left exactly the same. Same for the hit dice, the action points, the skill points, and the class list, the skill class list here. I don't mind that at all. Nor do I mind the base attack bonus or the fortitude save. Reflex save did get improved to the more moderate rate of improvement there. So you end up at a 5 instead of a 3 by level 10. Defense bonus and reputation bonus have also stayed the same. Where the real improvements begin to kick in, though, is in the class abilities. So, starting off, for weapon specialization, left it the same. Soldier gets a similar effect as I'd mentioned before, and it's a perfectly fine, very serviceable class. It's not top tier, but it's still very functional, and your character will not hurt for taking levels in it, and hopefully with these fixes, and I do believe this entirely, Archaic Weapon Master certainly works better as well. In particular, because for Imbue Weapon, we have fixed it. You treat the Archaic Weapon you have weapon focus for as a +1 weapon for attack, damage, and overcoming damage reduction. At level 8, this bonus increases to +2, and by spending 1 minute, you can imbue your weapon with holy, lawful, chaotic, or evil enchantments for up to 10 minutes. This massively improves your combat ability overall. I mean, you're getting a bonus to your attack and to your damage, which this does stack with the getting the weapon specialization feat and everything. And on top of that, by level 8, being able to treat your weapon as if it had one of those alignment oriented enchantments massively helps in that regard as well. Now, next thing is the bonus feats. I've removed some feats like the exotic weapon proficiency and the weapon focus feat out of it. So I feel like if you're achieving mastery over a weapon, especially in the modern day and age where people have careers and the like, even if you're a character that doesn't have a career, a person that doesn't have something like that that will consume a lot of their time, you still are not going to have quite as much time as you think. Achieving mastery over a weapon, I mean, takes such a long time. I mean, they say it takes 10,000 hours to develop skill at something, to become an expert in it. So I'm beginning to ramble here, but you get the idea. The numbers of feats have been reduced, and you still have such a wide variety of options to choose from while maintaining the idea that you are focused on gaining that that pinnacle of ability with a singular weapon. I think that fits overall quite a bit better. And then moving on from there, at the 4th level ability, we have replaced that with Master's Expertise. 3 times a day, as a free action, the Archaic Weapon Master may pick 2 combat feats they meet the requirements for and make use of them for 10 rounds. The combat feats must be usable with the specialized weapon, so no far shot or point blank shot with your longsword. maybe you could do that with an axe, because you can throw, well, I guess if you're throwing weapons, but you get the idea. You cannot use Great Cleave with a weapon that you are throwing or anything like that. So that's essentially the idea there. And this is like abilities that you can find in classes in Pathfinder. And I think that fits really well here, because the idea is an Archaic Weapon Master, a Weapon Master in general, is so intimately familiar with the weapon that they're using that it's basically an extension of their own body. And with whether you describe it as they don't realize it or they just naturally and fluidly move with it, they replicate different combat feats and abilities, and they're able to make use of them for a short amount of time. This adds a level of flexibility and customizability to the Archaic Weapon Master. This lets them kind of change things up on the fly and allows them to kind of choose different feats for different tactical situations. This gives them just a little bit more customization than they could otherwise have. But I believe by limiting it to 2 feats, especially in something like D20 Modern, I think that keeps it interesting, but not too powerful or too broken. So I think that does a lot to improve the class from where it was at before. Expert in your field, 5th level, I've left that alone because I don't mind that. I like the idea behind it. It makes sense. It's flavorful, it fits, and it gives the character something that they can do just outside of combat, which is massively helpful and serves to keep players engaged. I don't mind this here, even though pure mechanics, from looking at things at a combat perspective, it's not that useful. It's not useful in combat at all, really, in most conceivable instances right off the top of my head. Then for 7th level, we've moved increased weapon critical from 10th to the 7th level spot. We don't need to be worrying about dealing non-lethal damage without the -4 penalty here. You increase the critical threat range of your specialized weapon by 1, and this stacks with other sources. This is a fine ability here. But what helps cap it off and works in a kind of a symbiotic way with this ability is the new 10th level ability, Master Stroke. When you threaten a critical hit, you may spend an action point to automatically confirm it. So the idea is that, well, a master who has such a nice opening, such a clear opening, and they seize upon it, they use their overall experience, training, willpower, whatever you want to describe it as. In that moment, they have that window of clarity in which they just plunge their weapon, they go forward with the attack and strike, and they maximize their advantage with it. Hence, critical hit. Again, something that's flavorful, it fits, and it's mechanically effective. And this does so much to improve the class already. Now, would this be top tier? I don't know. I don't know that this is like a top tier class, but it definitely improves it from where it was at. It makes it much better mechanically. And since this is a class that is built and focused mostly around combat, and this is where this class is going to shine, we really want them to shine there. We want them to be able to keep up with the other combat-oriented classes. And the fact that they have a little kicker ability in there that allows them to do something outside of combat, make use of their skills, and gain a bonus on their skills, which, if you go up to level 10 with this class and you have other class levels, which, 3 levels of strong, you're getting at least, 4, 5, maybe a 6 or 7 bonus to these skills because it's based off of your reputation. And which skills it applies to can be argued and debated with your DM. And if you can sell your DM on the merits of that, getting a +6 bonus to some of your skills for different interactions as a face, that's not nothing. That's pretty significant. So overall, this improves the class greatly. Does it 100% fix everything? No. Does it make it incredibly powerful and over the top? No, I don't think so. It makes them good at combat, but combat is hardly the only thing to these role-playing games. And, well, even if it is, even if that's how you and your friends like to run these games, well, this class still fits better with that overall. But that's just my take. If you liked this overall, then go down into the comments, let me know what you thought. Or if you hated it, or if you have other suggestions that would work well, mesh nicely with all of this, then go down to the comments below and let me know as well. Or hit the like button if you just flat out didn't like it. Yell at me, deride me, whatever you want to do, go for it. I'm more than happy to engage in the discussion. And we're going to go ahead and call things there. I'm saying things just a little bit out of order now. If you enjoyed today's video and want to see more, then there are going to be some more videos popping up over here that maybe you'll enjoy. Or if this hasn't been your first stop, then why not go ahead and go down there and hit the subscribe button and join us as a regular here at the Gamers Den. But with that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and I just realized how short this video is. I could probably just add this in as part of the breakdown overall. But I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.